Yeah, that was Michael vomited between like in the middle of a song, I think. It was at a good part where we kind of like were waiting on him to like count us off into the next thing, and we were kind of making noise with our guitars. He just like had to run out front and vomit real quick, and then he came back in and did the film.
I hadn't drinking any alcohol really. I was not in the best shape, and it was hot, and I was trying to do mathcore crazy drummer runs around, and I didn't fully condition myself to do that. And, you know, it's just like running. It's like sprinting, and it's like, oh, I can't sprint anymore, but you keep sprinting because you're playing a set, and it's like, oh, well, I'm going to throw up now. And so I ran out. I threw up. There was a person smoking a cigarette, and I threw up. And the person was like, "You're doing a great job."
Welcome to the 105th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show where I interview bands and public figures from the mathcore adjacent communities. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in. I'll try to read them aloud. If you like to sub for $5, you get access to some exclusive emotes, as well as access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming platforms. You can also sub for free by attaching an Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this in your car and have no idea what I'm talking about, the show is first shown live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday at twitch.tv/thecast@inscreation for the live cast. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest today, who will be dropping their self-titled EP this Friday. Welcome in Blind Tiger. How's it going, guys?
It's going
well. Hello.
I'm doing well.
Awesome. So tell us who you are and what you do in the band. I guess we'll start with Nick.
My name is Nick, and I do vocals. And that's what I do in the band. I drive the van sometimes.
Okay. You're the chauffeur then.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Unless I need rest. And, we got a couple of days until we embark. So one of the other things that I do in the band is put all these boxes in other boxes so that they go into the van nicely.
Okay. Hunter, what about you?
I do the bass in the band, and I do some video production as well. And vocals, I guess, now as well.
Michael?
I play the drums. I drive the van. I record and produce and mix our records. And that's about it. Those are my 3 categories.
Okay. And Steven?
And I play the guitar. I do vocals. I write songs, but also now Hunty and Mikey write a lot of the songs too, along with me. And I handle a lot of the social media stuff, as far as like making the posts and, just checking it all the time, making sure we're up to date on messages and this and that. I handle a lot of the social media, but everyone else does pitch in and help out here and there. I don't know, I probably do other stuff too, but that's my main stuff. I do the guitar and the vocals and the social media stuff. I think at least one percussion thing on the album, like tambourine or something.
Okay. You guys call this an EP, and it is only 7 songs, but it's over 28 minutes long. Jesus, that's like a full length. So why
it's longer than Lock the Gate?
So why did y'all call it a full length, or why didn't you call it a full length?
The original idea, I guess, was to do an EP, and then we were like, I think it's my fault personally. I was like, let's add this intro, like that's just like a pretty cool like moshy intro that's like, hardcore shit, easy to mosh to, and that's what Jacksonville ended up being. And then I was like, hey, there's this really pretty like outro thing that I wrote. Let's add this outro to it. And originally Panama City was like, I think a third of the length that it is now. And then I was like, wait, I want to add more to it, make it a full song. So it just it started off as an EP with just 5 songs. And then we added on 2 more. And it just it ended up being longer than our full length by accident. All the songs except for the intro ended up being almost 5 minutes by accident. It just kind of, it piled up.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, your songs before, they're like just over 2 minutes, and now these are like over 4 minutes each.
Yeah.
And it kind of seemed like that was a goal y'all were trying to hit, but you're saying it was something on accident?
Yeah, definitely not a goal necessarily. I mean, I do like that we have longer songs now, because they used to kind of just like they felt kind of longer when we were writing them part by part, and then we put it together and it's just like nothing. And those are all great songs and we love them, but they're really quick and just feel like they're over too quickly. But with these, I feel like the writing process was so much different. So I feel like a lot of the older songs we ended up writing like together with older lineups too, which also had something to do with, why they were shorter, but just like writing them when we were all together, just kind of like making up parts real quick as we went. Like that kind of led to just shorter songs in general. Cause we'd just be like, I guess, tired of writing the song. And we're like, all right, that's the song. That's it right there. Whereas with this EP, like a lot of this new stuff, we kind of just like wrote parts while we were like chilling by ourselves and like sent them back and forth and just like built on it and like just had all these ideas and put them together. And then it ended up being a bunch of 5-minute songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like y'all were focusing more on like the writing process and getting structure and stuff into the songs.
Yeah.
B Dowdy in chat, who's a drummer for Serling and 30 Seconds Go, is saying, wish your tour was making a stop in Maine. Did y'all find a venue for the New Hampshire date?
Well, it's supposed to be either New Hampshire or like Boston, Massachusetts, or really anywhere around there. But no, we have not nailed anything for that date. That's the only one that we're still having trouble with.
Help. Everyone.
Anyone.
That's the only one. We're trying to do a completely booked tour.
There is one other show that was supposed to be Miami, but we ended up just taking it as an off day because we couldn't get in Miami. There's no other like place that makes sense to do it, so we just were like, off day, whatever.
Yeah.
But if anyone in Boston wants to help us out, if you're listening, help us.
Help those boys out. So, Blind Tiger's an interesting name. I think it's actually really, really cool. But it doesn't sound super metal. Like, he's blind, right? Like, how dangerous is this tiger going to be, right? So, why Blind Tiger?
I think because I don't know if you have noticed this far in lyrics. I don't know how much research you've done, sir. But but it's actually like it's one of the lyrics in one of our first songs on our first EP. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to slap a blind tiger's hand or some shit.
Blind tigers eat with their elbows on the table.
Yeah. Michael's got the fool.
Don't be afraid to slap their hands.
It's not okay to be afraid. Slap their hands.
It's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just play the drums.
But I guess at the point of writing that, we didn't have a name for the band yet. We weren't sure. So we're like, fuck, let's come up with something. And like after writing that, I was like, that sounds like a cool name, Blind Tiger.
But what does it mean?
I'm getting there.
Okay. Because I don't know.
I don't know, because it's like a tiger is very scary and ferocious. But if it's blind, it's at a disadvantage, I guess. And it's like it can't necessarily interact the same because of that. So
I feel like you could still hear where you are, though. It would still kick your ass, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't go poke it with a stick or anything. But that's where you keep your ferociousness.
That's supposed to be us. Like we're ferocious and
don't
scary.
Fuck with me, man.
And we'll kick your ass. But our disadvantage is that we're a bunch of dorks. So
okay.
I don't know.
I like to imagine it's kind of like like an anime tiger that's blind, and it's like, oh man, I don't expect anything from that tiger. But then the tiger's like, I see everything, and then it has, you know, the cool anime shots. That's what I think of.
Oh yeah.
We're making up the backstory on the spot. Not the backstory, but the meaning.
Mhm.
Dayspring says that you're ferociously blind, and Fall 50 Feet says that Blind Tiger sucks. I don't agree with that. I think they're being.
Hey,
I do.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I'm just gonna channel that.
I'm just glad that they noticed us.
So you guys dropped your first EP in 2015, "The Waterfall of the Desert." I assume that's about when y'all got together.
That lineup
Yes.
was me, Nick Lundy, and 2 other people named Albert and Corey.
Oh shit! So
Steve
you're the only
joined-
original member then.
Yeah, me and Nick are.
Yeah, me and Michael. Are the
Okay.
CEOs.
That EP originally came out, I believe, summer of 2014, and then they played that stuff for a little bit just at local shows, and then split up. I think early 2015, and then summer 2015, I joined the band after I was hanging out with the other 2 guys, Albert and Corey, and they were like, "Yo, let's add Steve to the band to help write songs and stuff, and let's do this again." And so we all did Blind Tiger again. We got back together, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna record these new parts that I wrote on y'all's EP that you did last year, and we'll just put it out again and actually put it on CD and stuff. So we did that, and honestly, I should have taken more time writing those parts because I just kind of like wrote some crap in a couple weeks and like went and recorded it over the EP. Just like adding it to what the first guitarist had already put down, you know, because we were both playing at the same time. So yeah, originally it came out in 2014. That's when they started the band. But then in 2015, we just re-released it with the adding me to the lineup and all that.
Okay. And that was the same lineup as the full length, right? In 2017.
Not quite, actually.
Okay.
It was the same lineup that wrote at least, I'd say, half of that full length. But then the bassist ended up leaving at one point, and the guitarist ended up leaving shortly after that. Well, not too shortly, but at some points after that, just due to creative differences. But we're all still like really good friends. And then we had 2 other people step in for second guitar and bass, and that was the lineup for Lock the Gate. It was me, Michael, Nick, and Daniel Mountain, Stacy, and I. That was Lock the Gate right there.
We rocked that lineup for quite a bit.
Yeah.
And now you got Hunter, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now we're down to 1 guitar. We've got Hunter on bass, and we've added Cody, who is not with us tonight. He's busy, but he plays the synth and trumpet.
See, I was gonna ask you guys because I didn't see a lineup for like I saw like a current lineup on your Facebook, but I didn't see one on the Bandcamp page for this release. I was gonna ask you who does the trumpet and stuff like that. We're definitely gonna get to that.
Okay.
So yeah, well, I guess we're at it now. Actually, I usually ask bands at this point what's different with your new release, but it's so obvious. Just like first of all, the songs are longer, the lineup's different, but now you got like horns and stuff, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. A lot of bands aren't doing that. It's such an interesting take. So yeah, and you didn't listen to anybody on horns, but now you're saying that you do have somebody on horns. So what's the idea then for bringing in the horns?
Music.
Okay.
To make it
good answer, Mike.
I would like to say that one of the biggest differences between this release and the last release is we're just doing more music. We're like thinking about notes, thinking about like what harmonies are, and you know, we're just like, hey, let's do this. It's brand new, and we're trying to do it. We're making a bunch of wacky stuff, and
Yeah.
I think we're trying to pursue music more, and I think adding the horn and synthesizer really opens up that landscape of sounds that we can use to craft.
Allow me to add to Michael's sentence that we're just doing music more, as opposed to just playing dirty riffs just because they sound dirty over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, we want,
which is also fun.
I was gonna say there's nothing wrong with that.
Still
though,
do it. Yeah, yeah.
Beginning,
Still do it.
we really wanted to be like a moshing band. Like we wanted to show up and we wanted everyone to mosh because me and
And we
Nick
still do.
We
still
we
do.
absolutely
But we unlocked
absolutely.
it though. We unlocked
Yeah.
the mosh.
Michael
Yeah, we
and
unlocked the
Nick
mosh,
were
so now it's
kids.
The
time for
blind
the next
tiger
level.
mosh.
Yeah. Period.
Well, like, where did the influence come to get the trumpet in? I mean, you had to have been listening to a band or something that gave y'all influence.
Canderia's cool. I like
Candiria,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a big one for sure.
Zappa.
Yeah, we all just Zappa and Candiria, I'd say probably be like top two for influencing a decision like that. Especially like really on synth too. Candiria had some cool like synth jam parts. And Zappa definitely crazy with the synths. But in general, we all listen to so much music that is all just from like so many, like, I don't know, we listen to like all kinds of different genres, like all kinds of stuff, and a lot of it has trumpet and synth in it, and really we just want to, like, you know, add whatever as long as we can just make it rock. And Cody's a dope musician. Like, he really knows his shit, and we've been dealing with like sheet music and tabs and shit like that lately. So like we just knew that if we added him to the group and was like, hey, like, learn these songs and write some parts to these parts and this and that, and gave him the tabs with the sheet music and stuff, like, we just knew that he would be able to get in there and write some shit that would make sense with what we're doing. So
Were y'all working with sheet music and tabs before, or was it more just like memorizing?
We started to around 2017.
Okay.
I'd say mostly 2018.
Yeah.
But we started to really get serious about like staying with like doing tabs and stuff, I'd say around when COVID hit. That was when we were like seriously like using those as like the backbone for like making the click tracks for these songs and recording on top of that, etc. Like the groundwork for the EP, I would say, is because of the like Guitar Pro shit, and MuseScore and Guitar Pro are the two programs
Finale.
that we use.
Mm.
You use Finale?
Well, I
use
know
Finale.
some of us do.
I do for my drum stuff.
Word.
Drum notation is easier.
Well, I use Guitar Pro. Michael uses MuseScore and Finale, and I don't know what the other guys use.
I've used a little bit of MuseScore, or not MuseScore, sorry, but like honestly, GarageBand for some unreleased material. I've like started working on putting it into GarageBand because I already know that the band, Michael's drums are to a click, Steve's to Michael, so on and so forth. Everyone's listening into the percussion.
Yeah.
So I like to like put their already created practice track or demo into GarageBand.
Something that
I have it where I can map it out. Sorry.
Something else that I thought was interesting with y'all's music is that you kind of have like this, I guess you'd call it like a traditional aspect to it. Like a minute into Atlanta, for instance, it turns into like a thrash song. Like you have actual gallops and stuff in there, like stuff from like traditional metal bands like Iron Maiden and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck is happening? So where does that come from?
I personally went to my roots a lot on this album. Like when I was a young kid learning how to play the drums, I was really into Metallica and Slayer and those Tool, all those earlier bands. So I liked having the opportunity to put in some of those iconic metal drum stuff. And I feel like a lot of those kind of give it that vibe. And we've never done that before. And so I was like, hey, let's get that traditional blast beat, you know, like I don't have a blast beat. Let's put that in there.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's awesome, man. It definitely sets y'all apart. When I first heard it, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, like we all like really like all kinds of metal. Like we don't just only, except for Hunty, we don't only listen to mathy stuff. So I'm just playing. But yeah, like especially from like the local music scene, we've been, you know, put on to like a bunch of like old school metal or death metal or whatever. Like, so we definitely appreciate like just straight up like you said, traditional, I guess, metal and heavy metal. Like,
with blood comes cleansing.
that's not
Ooh.
traditional metal, but that is.
Come on.
I love death
That's
metal.
like mid 2000s, like deathcore, but
Yeah.
it is a big influence. I'd say, like, I definitely did fuck with like older Metallica when I was in like, 6th grade. So
I like Disturbed. I think that's like the first kind of
Yeah.
thrashy type metal music.
I also like
I guess
Disturbed
you
a
could call
lot.
it thrashy. Okay.
Down with
Yeah.
the Sickness was the first song I played double bass on. It was like da 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 cat da 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 cat da da cat, and I was
Hell
like
yeah.
12, and I was like, I'm the shit.
Did you try to do the voice thing that?
No, I've always been like, they'll handle that up in vocal land.
Drowning Pool's cool.
Drowning Pool.
I guess pretty much how everybody started was like Disturbed and Slipknot and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
Fall 50 Feet in chat says, did you guys talk about Little B yet? I assume it's like an inside joke or something.
Thank you, bass
I
god.
mean, he's just talking about how we have that song with Lil B featured on it.
Like a
What's
rapper or what's up?
Yeah, you don't know Lil B?
No, dude.
He's
God.
like a
Bass god, baby.
He's a big like internet sensation sort of crazy guy.
Tweeter.
Not crazy guy, but you
Memer.
know, crazy, like just ridiculous, goofy rapper dude. That also, you know, he's got some pretty good music, but he's got a fucking ton of music. He was really like popular in the MySpace days. Like he got popular initially through making just a shit ton of MySpace pages back when you could only put like a few songs on one, like on a MySpace band page. So he made a shit ton of pages so he could put all of his music up for people to listen to.
Okay.
And that was like how he initially got popular. And now he's just kind of like still just riding the waves of the internet and doing his thing on there. But he's just like a big like underground legend sort of hip hop guy. And we hit him up to do a feature on just a re-released version of the song Lock the Gate. And over like the instrumental quiet part before we start doing the singing on that song, we had him do a little verse, and it's kind of just like a stream of consciousness, like spoken word sort of thing. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
I like it.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. I didn't really go back and listen too much to your other stuff. I did listen to a couple of songs, but didn't like dive super deep. So I guess I missed that one. I need to go back and check that out. So y'all kind of talked about it a little bit, but how does the writing process work with y'all? Is one person mainly directing it, or are y'all all bringing in your own thing?
So it used to be mostly that. Well, actually,
Used to jam.
Yeah, kind of what I used to say. We used to just jam. Like Albert and Corey would kind of like come up with riffs on the spot and be like, "Yo, let's jam and write a song off this" while we were at practice. But then, like when I like the way I've always done it in the bands that I've been in, because I was in a handful of bands playing guitar before I joined Blind Tiger. The way I've always done it, and then the way I did it in Blind Tiger when I joined, is that I just kind of like write just about a whole song, if not the whole song, by myself. And I'm just like, hey guys, here's the whole song. Figure it out. But lately with Blind Tiger, that still kind of goes on, but we do a lot more discussion on certain parts. And personally, I'm a lot more open to changing things than I was when I took that approach, like, you know, maybe like 8 to 10 years ago. Yeah, I'll just kind of be like, here's the song, or here's a part of the song, and we'll just talk about like what comes next and like how it needs to go. And pretty much that's how it is for anyone, like for Hunter or Mikey when they write a song. Like Hunter wrote the song Abbeville that's on our EP, but mainly just kind of wrote most of the riffs. And I just kind of took them and like rearranged all of them and put them into different places and was like, what do y'all think of this? And they were like, hell yeah, let's do that. And then Mikey wrote Vero Beach and Denton mostly, but he only had like up to a certain point. And then I was like, all right, I'll just kind of color in the rest with a few more riffs and then we're good to go. You know, it's done. And then sometimes I'll do a little rearranging too on those, but I feel like for the most part, what Mikey wrote for those songs is like exactly how it was, except for just like the guitar playing like style necessarily, but the notes and the structure and everything. So like for the most part, we just kind of write something, take it to the band, and we just kind of talk about it and come up with the song that we all want, you know?
Okay.
Steve is a better guitar player than me, and so I will write guitar riffs, and I'll be like, well, I can't play this, but I think Steve probably could. And then I give it to Steve, and then he does with it what he will. He'll get it up to speed. I'll typically write it at like a much slower tempo and then try to play it fast, but it's like pretty sloppy. I got that drummer guitar playing, but you know, sorry, you're about to say something.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. Tayfei in chat says, hey there, absolutely love the Vero Beach video. We're definitely going to be getting to those in a minute. Before then, though, did anybody else have anything else to say about writing process? Or
I write the lyrics,
okay.
and then I write I don't know. I guess I'll decide if it's like a heavy part or a screaming, or a heavy singing or heavy screaming. You know, I feel like I don't know. We kind of spitball what the vocal parts are. Steve does some vocals, and Hunty does some vocals. And like once I have like the main melody kind of written out in my head and I can sing it to myself, then I'll leave it to Steve to find a good harmony. But we all kind of try to work together on that to take it from the writing to recording stage as far as vocals. Because like Michael will coach me also because he has an ear for intonation. Since he's recording everything, I think we really work well in that way.
That way.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you mentioned lyrics because that was the next thing I was going to go to. You don't have the lyrics posted for the album, but every song's title is the name of a city, and I assume the songs are about the city.
Yes,
more or
in a
less.
Very vague way. Lyrically, not so much, but there might be some vague thing that I was thinking about when writing it.
So, like, you're not describing the city, and there's a little pizzeria over here, like the library.
No, not like the city. I don't know.
It's not.
Maybe just a very vague moment that you wouldn't know otherwise by reading it. I don't know. But some of it is just kind of when I'm writing the words, it's kind of random, as you may understand when writing.
Just to give one example of how like the title, I'm not going to give them all away, but one example of how the title ties in with the lyrics is that Abbeville is a very like pro marijuana song, I guess. There are other themes involved in the song, but it's very like, why is it illegal to smoke pot sort of song. And Abbeville is a town where one time we were on our way to go to Atlanta to play a gig, and we got pulled over in Abbeville and busted for having some pot, and me and one of the other members at the time got arrested for it. So it's just kind of like, it's that sucked, but that's long gone in the past, fuck it, whatever. But we did write a song more or less kind of about it, and then named the song that. It's like not the song lyrics aren't about that experience necessarily, not like directly, but it's just like we liked the concept of naming every song after a town, because I think we named one song after a town, and then I was like, what if we try to like name every song after a town, just kind of get a theme going. So we just kind of like thought of I think for the most part we were like, what songs or what towns do we want to name songs after? And then after we kind of like decided like what vibes the instrumentals had, I think is how we named a good portion of them. Then we were like, well, what kind of, lyrical content can we tie into that town that is like relevant in some way and would be like a good topic for a song, But Abbeville, I do believe we chose that name because we wanted to write something about that topic. We didn't choose the name because of the instrumental or anything, but Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how that all goes.
Yeah.
So y'all do
That
have
was
a.
all,
Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that was all coming off of our 2019 winter tour. So a couple of those song names were kind of from the experiences of those cities on tour and
Yeah,
our
like
responses in those places.
Denton and Bluntstown,
Yeah.
specifically,
And probably Jacksonville too, I would say.
Oh
and
yeah,
Atlanta,
true.
and Atlanta.
It's mainly
Yeah.
like I feel like we had positive and more or less just general experiences in all these places that meant something to all of us. So
Yeah.
I think that's why it was easy to be like, these are city names and they mean something to all of us, and that's what makes Blind Tiger being the self-title.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
sure.
Y'all
So,
do have
yeah.
a tour coming up now. Are y'all going to be hitting up all these cities?
Not
No,
all of them. Um,
Oh, come on.
Abbeville.
some of them.
Never
Not-
Abbeville.
We've never played Abbeville. we've paid Abbeville.
Yeah, we've
but we
paid them
haven't
everything.
played there.
So until they want to give it back.
We're playing Jacksonville. We're playing not Atlanta. We tried to at first. We got Athens instead of Atlanta. I don't think we're playing many of them at all. We're playing Port St. Lucie, which is like right next door to Vero Beach. It was originally Vero Beach, but then we got a venue change, which took us to PSL. We're not playing Bluntstown ever again. We're not playing what's after that. Denton. Denton's going to be on the next tour that we're working on.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then
Special.
not playing Abbeville, and we are playing Panama City. So we're technically only playing 2 cities exactly, but we are playing 2 cities that are close to 2 of the other song titles. Just Jacksonville and Panama City are the only ones we're actually playing. And
I just played Denton actually last Friday. It was the first show for the
Cool.
Sound That Ends creation. It's a fucking awesome
Nice.
vibe out there.
Where'd you
it
play?
was your first show?
Killers Tacos. Yeah, it's the first show for the Sound That Ends creation. But yeah, that's a
Nice.
sick venue. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The tacos
Got
are
some killer
great.
tacos.
Yeah, Killers is dope. That's where we
Killer
played,
X
and
Taco.
we had a good experience when we played there. And I believe that's where we're playing again when we go there next in February.
Nice.
That's like one of the shows on that tour, one of the first ones that we've gotten confirmed. So we're excited to go back there.
Alrighty. So this was recorded, produced, and engineered by Michael. You call it Seth Studios? I guess that's the name that you're calling your studio?
Yep.
And
You're right.
then it was mastered by you and Justin Bellew at Big
Yes.
City Sound. So what was this whole process like?
Long. It was very drawn out because, well, especially for me, I wrote parts that were too hard for me, and I would end up trying to record it, and I'd be like, crap, I hate
Yep.
this. And then I would
We wrote
practice.
songs that are too hard. These songs are hard.
Yeah, we all had to put on our big boy pants and figure out how to do it. I definitely had to practice for like a year to do a lot of these parts. Like, I don't know, a lot. They're just like really quick. And I like, my learning curve, I got them about 90% there, but the last 10% took like 6 months of just like drilling them and doing them as much as I could. But, Stephen Hunter got their parts tracked in like November of 2020.
Year ago.
November. And then between November of 2020 and about 6 months ago, it was like, I don't know. It took me a long time. It took me a long time to get the parts. But once I got them, then we started vocals, which was like a whole lot of demoing, running back and forth, doing stuff. Nick would do a demo, then he'd come to my studio and do a demo, and we'd work on stuff, and we would talk about the parts, and there was lots of like, hey, let's change this and this and this and this. And then there was just like it was a really long demoing process, and we didn't set a date from when we wanted to be done. So it kind of lasted longer than I wanted it to. And our next release, I'd like it to be a shorter, more streamlined process. Like before we start recording, I would personally like to be a little bit better at the parts and just more time to practice and less time to be like, oh no, I have to be recording these now and stuff. But everybody did great recording. Everybody did a great job on their parts. And
what about the mixing process?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Well, I sat right here for like a couple weeks and mixed it.
Okay.
We would I would make it. I did a mix and then I would send it to them and then they'd send me what they wanted and I'd fix that, send that to them, and then they'd give me another list of things they wanted changed. I'd change that, send it to them.
Everything's wrong.
Yeah, well, it felt like that sometimes, but
yeah.
even
if it's just like a bunch of small stuff, it still feels like a bunch of not small stuff.
And there's still things that I hear that I was like, I could have kept mixing this EP forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you're doing your own music, like you could find little knobs to tweak every single day.
Oh
you're
yeah,
like, we got this, we're done with this, and then you listen to the next day, and you're like, well, I could, change this up a little bit, get a little bit more EQ on there or whatever.
Absolutely, but in the end, once me and Justin mastered it, I was like, all right, we're done, and I let go of it.
Finally,
it is what it is, and it was great. Justin Ballou is he owns a studio in Columbus, Georgia called Bib City Sound, and that's what I interned to graduate from college. And I know he's got a lot of really fancy, expensive equipment that I could use to master the stuff. He's also got another set of ears, a nice room. He's got some stuff. We had some advice to go master with someone else, and I think that was a really good thing to do. Because I just got in a different room with a different guy, and then we ran it through his Rupert Neve satellite bus mixer. Whoever's a nerd will appreciate that.
I have no idea.
But we used some compression, we used some EQ, we just kind of juiced it up, made it, tried our hardest to make it sound like a commercial studio record, but really it was like done in a basement in my bedroom. So, despite all that, I'm really proud of it. I think it sounds better than Lock the Gate, and I'm happy, and I can't wait to do the next one.
Hell yeah.
I think you did a good job on it, too.
Thank you.
Me too. I think you did good.
So, I'll move on to your artwork. Who did the artwork for this?
Anthony
we got it
Grasso.
up on a stream now, by the way.
Nice.
Who is it?
Anthony Grasso. I think I forget what his first art name was, but then he became Visceral Media, and now he is Direct Quest or something like that. I'm not sure. He doesn't do band art a whole lot. I think he used to do it more, but he doesn't really I think he doesn't. The Facebook page for Visceral Media, I think, might not exist anymore, and then he doesn't really use the Instagram page much. But we just we did the Lock the Gate art with him, and we were more than happy with that art because that art was better than the album was. We we really like his art, and we were just we just still hit him up for art. He does some of our shirts, and so he might not be really advertising that he does art for bands right now, but we just still hit him up because he did really good for our stuff in the past, and he still does great. He did our tour posters for this as well, and we have a new shirt that we're gonna have on this tour that he also did the art for. And he did the art for this shirt that we've had for a while, where it's a guy ripping his face skin off or something. But yeah, he's a really great artist from Tallahassee, Florida. Does really cool shit. And if I could remember what his Instagram handle was right now, I'd tell you to go check it out. But
I'll get that from you and put it in the description of the video.
Yeah,
you can find it.
Ben from the God Awful Truth is actually in chat and said that he did the God Awful Truth's font. So that's cool too.
Oh, nice. That's cool. So he's doing stuff still.
Something nice. I wanted to bring up though, your last album cover was far more intricate than this one. So why is this one so basic's the wrong word, but not as intricate. How about that?
No, I mean, basic makes sense. Like, I don't take that as like a negative comment, but I really fought for like a a pretty simple album art. I was thinking like self-titled. I honestly wanted something kind of just like
Something like
maybe even
clean.
more maybe even more simple than this originally. What I was thinking. Like I was thinking just kind of like I don't know if you're familiar with the album Asia by Steely Dan, but it's mostly black and just has like a small little image on it. I don't even know what the image is off the top of my head, but I was just thinking something like black with not much on it, but I didn't know what I wanted on it. I was just kind of like, something dark and basic, and it has our name on it. That's
Yeah,
Why
just,
that though? Like your music seems so. It sounds like far more, I guess, energetic than what something like that would give off. The
that
vibe
makes
something like that would give
sense.
off.
I think because it's the self-titled.
Yeah.
I can't explain it any better than that, really. But because it's the self-titled, I was just like, something plain, and it just has our name on it because it's just like, this is Blind Tiger, like nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I'd
Just
say
like
in the most
Blind
basic
Tiger.
way, it's just keeping all the focus on the name.
Yeah, I guess that makes
and the
sense.
focus of like, this is Blind Tiger, and I want to check out this music. I want people to like come into it with that mindset. So
And another kind of like, I guess, inspiration for our vision of the album cover was like the 311 self-titled cover. If you're
That's what I was.
familiar with that,
yeah, I was
the
just
standard blue with the logo on it, just something like that, which kind of has that vibe. I guess it's like spacey looking,
Yeah,
but
just like a gradient with the name on it. It's just pretty
yeah.
simple. Yeah.
Is this like a tiger constellation or something, or what? What is it?
Those are
the track list.
That's the track list. That's where each of the cities would be on the
Oh,
map. Yeah.
oh,
I
okay.
believe it's to scale. Like if
Yeah.
you're actually looking at it, because
Yeah,
This-
it's to scale.
this is from
miles.
the Atlanta music video, and I painted this, and it looks cool on video, but if you try to match it up to that scale, it's not gonna match up.
But that's supposed to be the
But
constellation.
it's the same kind of thing if you think about it.
And
That looks like
it's
a
in the
dog.
Atlanta music video.
Okay, okay.
And if you reverse it, it looks like ZP, and it's funny because it's the EP.
And just to
Okay.
just to give it all away for the handful of viewers out there, we also have an Easter egg in the Vero Beach music video where the little thing that we're lighting candles on, like the blood pattern where we're lighting the candles, the pattern of blood is also the constellation. Where the candles are the dots.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because that was the next thing I was going to get to. You did two awesome music videos for that. We're going to start with Vero Beach. It's playing right now. Whose idea was it to do this? Oh, I just saw the little constellation thing, by the way. Boom.
Yes.
I
Nick,
think we all wanted it to be kind of dark and I guess more like an underground secret society. I don't know. I think I described it as like goth authoritarianism. It's like we're all gonna wear the same, but we're gonna look weird and fucked up all in the same way. But Hunter made the selections for the costume, but him and them and Michael kind of collaborated in on that as far as actually bringing it to life. The song conceptually is a trans rights anthem, I guess. And just it speaks on not tolerating hate or discrimination towards anyone in any like marginalized
Community.
umbrella community.
Yes.
So with Hunter's direction on the video,
You did the choreographing.
I did choreograph it, but Hunter added some of like the more conceptual placement of the blood section. I didn't really see how that was going to come to play, but overall, to answer your question, it's trans rights, and the visual theme is just dark. Like, it is intended to be dark, believe it or not.
Well,
yeah.
Also, like, as far as the location, that's the upstairs of this place called Mosey's in Panama City, where it used to be and will be again soon, this pizza place / bar downtown. And in 2018, a big ass hurricane hit Panama City, and so basically Mosey's had to close due to hurricane damage, and they've been closed since then. And that upstairs area is still just really like thrashed and fucked up from the hurricane. And I think it was already kind of fucked up before the hurricane, but the hurricane really like sealed the deal and really fucked it up there. So they finally have the roof fixed well enough to where we were able to go and like shoot a video, because it started raining real bad at one point, and I was like, fuck, I'm glad they fixed the roof, because like I think we got in there like just after they had fixed it. But yeah, like I think after we had recorded my parts for the EP, we were borrowing a couple amp heads from the fellow that owns Mosey's. His name's Judd, and we went to return them. And I think it was me and Nick who went to return them. Michael?
Yeah.
Was it Michael? Okay.
Yeah.
Michael. I think me and Nick also went up there with
Yeah,
Judd.
we had a trip there.
Yeah.
Nice day.
I think it was me and Nick when we picked them up, maybe. And then me and Michael when we dropped them off. Judd
I
kind
remember
of...
that.
Judd took us around, and we just like looked at the whole area. And I hadn't seen the upstairs, I think ever, honestly, but definitely not since the hurricane. And because like the upstairs was never really like part of the restaurant or the business. It was like they had some offices up there and shit. Like other people rented the space, but now he owns the entire like building and everything, so we can do whatever we want there. So he just kind of gave us a tour of the building and showed us the progress on everything, and then showed us the upstairs. And I was like, holy shit, like this place looks awesome. We should totally do a video here. Like this would be prime spot for a video. But of course, when we made that plan, it was like fall or winter time. And then when we shot the video, it was the dead center of summertime, and there was no AC up there, and it was fucking miserable to the point where when we shot our solo shots, Mikey was like, I can't play drums up there anymore. I got to do it somewhere downstairs. It's too hot. So it was
in the middle of the day.
I could imagine, man. In Florida, it's got to be humid as shit too.
Yeah, it was no good. It was you could see the makeup kind of smudging a little bit. You could see the sweat, but like, yeah, I'm glad we got it done. We really put a lot of work in for that one.
It did look like y'all are having like a ton of fun doing it though. So
yeah, absolutely, it was fun, but it was like every take, like as it went on, it was just like, oh man, I'm so tired. I can't wait to be done. But we still have this and this and this and this to do. But we did it, and I'm very proud of what we all got done.
And don't let the look of the video deter you from going to Mosey's whenever it finally does open.
Yeah, it's not
the bar area. It's like, keep in mind it's under construction right now, and the downstairs area looks really good and awesome. Yeah. And we just had a show there, and it was awesome. Mosey's is awesome, and Judd is awesome too.
One more small bit of info that might be interesting, or maybe it's just not, but we were like, I think a few days before the shoot, and we were like, fuck, we never got someone to operate the cameras, because we were just going to do it ourselves, and we thought we had another guy that could do it, but we didn't hit him up till the last minute, and he couldn't do it. And then we just hit up our old friend Javin Irving, who used to live in Panama City, but now he lives in Pensacola. But he does a lot of like audio video stuff. He recorded some of my old bands, and he does this thing called Little Room in Florida, which is kind of like a audio tree-esque sort of thing, just kind of like bands in Florida do like a live studio performance thing. But we just hit him up at the last minute and he was like, yeah, I could totally do that. So we got to do that with him, which was really cool because we haven't worked with him in a long time, and he's really good at what he does. So I'm glad that he kind of helped with the directing at the last minute too. Like we didn't expect for him to we just kind of expected to just be like, hey, we want these scenes to happen, just film it. But he had a lot of really cool ideas that he brought to the table, and he helped it all just kind of come together.
Yeah. Big shout out to Javin.
Yes.
So y'all did another one for Atlanta. I think this is actually the first one that y'all posted.
Mm-hmm.
So this just looks like a performance video mainly, right?
Essentially, yeah. We wanted to put a little more in it, but I think there was like a location that we intended on shooting at that we weren't able to get to. We weren't given permission to shoot there when we thought we were going to be able to. So we kind of had to deal with like a little bit less content than we originally planned. But I think with that considered, like it still came out pretty well. And then we at the last minute kind of decided to just go to this parking garage and shoot some full band shots at the top of this parking garage. And that's on location in Atlanta, by the way. Hence the name of the song.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Y'all drove to Atlanta just to do this?
Hunty lives in Atlanta, or near Atlanta. Yeah. Nick lives in Birmingham, which I think is only a couple hours away. Yeah. And then I don't know how close Columbus is, but Michael lives near Columbus.
So y'all are kind of spread out then.
Yeah. Me and Cody. I live in Port St. Joe, which is an hour away from Panama City, where Cody lives. Cody's the only one that lives in Panama City still. We used to all live in Panama City, but me and him kind of had a bit of a trek. I think Michael probably did, but I mean, it was fine. We all, had a goal in mind. We were like, let's go shoot a badass music video. So we shot it, and it was cool. We got 3 full band takes on that parking garage until a cop came and told us that we couldn't do it no more. And we were just kind of had to be like, all right, let's stop, I guess. But I guess like between those 3 takes, we didn't really get stuff that looked that great throughout the video, so we just ended up with the full band shot at the end of the video. Like originally, we kind of were interested in using some of that more throughout the video, but it just kind of ended up being like we just got the solo shots of everyone, and then we got some cool stuff that Nick shot for like the midpoint kind of in the song, with the whole like shaving the hair off and mixing the paint and all that. That was pretty cool. That added a cool element to the video for sure.
This is where my head was shaved.
Yeah, right there.
Here.
Okay.
Actually.
That's where it happened, baby.
And my one of my employers, they gave me some permission to a warehouse that was under construction too. So it looks good. It turned out well.
I think it's really professional looking. Like I thought that y'all probably hired a studio or something to work with them or something like that. So.
No, that's just that's my cousin Zach that lives in Atlanta. He did our music video for In the Future as well. That's a song from Lock the Gate. We did that video at the beginning of 2018. But he does some really good stuff. He also did Fake Dinosaur Bones, Callous Cowboys, and the I forget the name, but the DeLorean, Black DeLorean, something or other.
Blackberry DeLorean.
The Blackberry DeLorean, yeah.
And some pop artists also.
But yeah, he does
other people.
He does a lot of Atlanta artists, and I think some, just in that area. He does some pretty good work. It looks really nice. It's really like high quality, and like the editing's real good. He did a good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I gotta ask knowing that y'all are like kind of like separated, how did y'all even write this? Like, did y'all have like a set day in the week or something that y'all would meet up together and talk about this stuff, or were y'all sending things like over Zoom or something?
So the beginning of this EP, Like we had a bunch of other music already written, and we I don't want to say too much about it, but we had a full length written, and then we were like, that's too much music to put out right now. It's been a few years since we put out music. Let's not put out this like 1 zillion track album. Instead, let's write a fresh EP.
EP.
Starting right now, we'll just write fresh songs, just like not use anything that we've already written.
If that gives you context to the EP situation. But
anyway. We were just like, let's do something self-titled, and it's just like, this is Blind Tiger right now, and this is probably what Blind Tiger is going to be for the rest of the Blind Tiger existing, like this lineup. We just wanted to be like, let's do a little EP with a bunch of really heavy shit and just be like, this is fucking Blind Tiger. So like we had all those discussions on the 2019 tour at the end of 2019, which was like November, December. And then we had an off day on that tour where we stayed at what was Hunter and Nick's house, because Nick was living there too at the time. And what's the name of the town again? Norfolk?
Norcross, yeah.
Norcross.
Why don't you just give us social too, Steve?
Norcross,
awesome.
near Atlanta. And here's the address, but not really. Anyway, so we chilled there for an off day, and we were really excited about the writing new music for an EP idea. And we were just like, let's set up our shit in the basement and start jamming this new song. Because I was talking about this like rhythm that I had in my head for like years and years and years. And I was like, it needs to go in a mathcore song. So we just like chilled, and we started to write Atlanta. And we have a demo from that. And there's a lot of parts in it that did not end up in the actual song, because the first time we tried to write it, we didn't really write very good parts. But the first couple parts stuck with it. Anyway, that's how we started to write Atlanta. But then we finished tour, and we played a couple more shows, and then the pandemic happened, and we didn't really like write anything else for the EP yet at that point. I don't think like we didn't really like sit down and be like, all right, here's some more stuff for the EP. So then when the pandemic hit, that's when we, I think, really started to get to work. Cause like, especially for me, like when the pandemic hit, I quit my job and just kind of like chilled and didn't do a whole lot. So I guess
the
like,
case with everybody.
Yeah. I just played a lot of guitar and shit. So we all just kind of started to write our stuff, and that's where the sheet music came into play, because we like sent it back and forth, and we're like, this is how the shit goes. Like, check this out, and check out this demo I recorded, and see what you think. And like, for the most part, anything that I wrote, it was pretty much just like, this is a fully written song. Like Atlanta, I just went in and like changed some of the parts from that demo we made, and then like just pretty much finished the song. And then Bluntstown and Jacksonville, I think, were the other two that I wrote all the way through. And I pretty much just like wrote those whole songs. And then I believe we had some conversations about certain parts, about how we wanted things to be a little bit different here and there. But for the most part, it was just like, here's these songs, y'all learn them, write whatever parts you want to them. And then we just sent demos back and forth and discussed things and what needs to be changed here and there. And
so a lot of collaboration over like email and stuff like that then.
Essentially, yeah. We use Google Drive a lot, and we just make sheet music, make demos, and talk a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So got a random question here we ask everybody. What do you put on your hot dogs?
Hell yeah. I've been waiting for this question.
Let's hear it.
For me, I think what I really like to put on my hot dog, and sorry, I know you didn't ask this, but I'm going to say it. It's a vegan hot dog, but what I put on it is some vegan either cheddar or American cheese, as long as it's the good old orange cheese, doesn't matter. And some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, some Wickles
okay.
pickles. Honestly, I could go with almost any combination of hot dog toppings, but those are like that's like my standard. Like, I really would like to have those three things on my hot dog, and then I'm cool. Like, I'll eat a hot dog by itself if I'm hungry and that's what I have. But the cheese that's either American or cheddar and also vegan, Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, some Wickles pickles. I could also go with like some raw onions, particularly like is it red onion, the purple ones
for me,
or some spinach. I know that's not typical hot
that
dog
one's a little
stuff,
weird, but all right.
but I'll chop up some spinach and just put that in there. Like, I don't know, I'm down for whatever though. I'm down for chili. I'm down for anything as long as it's vegan.
Okay. Hunter, looked like you weren't into the cheese. I saw you shaking your head over there.
Yeah, I was going to say that was an interesting choice, but you can tell Steve works in a kitchen. He really just throws anything on a hot dog.
Well, what about you, man? What do you put on yours?
I was actually going to say I would put spinach on a hot dog. I know that was probably another odd choice.
What do you do with it? Do you put it on the bun first and then you put everything else in there? Or?
That's what I was
saying. Like, I was saying chop it up. Like, a lot of times when I put spinach on stuff, like especially like on pizza, because I make my own pizzas and I put the spinach on before I put the cheese on. I just chop it up real small and put it on there. But I think that's what I would do for the hot dog, is chop it up and just kind of like put it on top,
Okay,
so it's like small
garnish.
pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. But also basil, though. Basil would be dope. Basil's good on anything, though.
Okay.
Anyone else? Who else has their
hey? All right. Here's what I got.
Hey.
I like the hot dog. I like cherishing it, and that's why I would say that you have to eat it with mustard. I don't want to say that with a Boston accent or anything, but you do have to eat it with mustard.
You gotta have a mustard dog.
In my opinion.
So just mustard?
At least.
Okay.
I would say at least mustard.
but not limited.
So that's at the
to.
base. Gotcha.
Now, here's where it gets tricky, because some people say it's sacrilege to put ketchup on a hot dog, but
It is.
I would also
Fuck
take
ketchup.
it. I would take it if it had the mustard and the ketchup. But definitely mustard. And another optional topping is onions, grilled onions.
Okay, I can get down with
Yeah,
that.
I know we got some grilled onion fans out there.
Yeah.
Don't lie to
Onions.
yourself.
Caramelize.
I'm one of them.
Caramelize shit.
Caramelize.
Yeah.
Michael, let's hear yours, man.
Well, I am just a classic ketchup and mustard. That's tight. But if it's my dream dog, I like some chili, some cheese, some sauteed onions, and maybe a little bit of Chick-fil-A sauce on the
You
top.
got that Waffle
Oh,
House
shit.
dog.
A
yeah,
little bit
it's
of
tight.
Chick-fil-A sauce on there. That's spicing it up. I like it.
It tastes great.
Little
vegan,
gravy.
So it seems like you guys are putting a decent amount of effort into your YouTube channel, and then you just stopped. Y'all were doing like reacts and stuff like that. What happened?
Yeah. Calling us out.
No, I appreciate it. That's pure accountability right there.
Basically, it's like we all are extremely busy, not only with this band, but other creative endeavors. So basically, like, we were all like, yo, yeah, let's do these little YouTube things. Like, we did one like behind the music, behind the lyrics thing for the old album Lock the Gate. We did the first track and like broke it down part by part and talked about the lyrics and the riffs and stuff, and then we just kind of never did another one. And then we
Over
did
a year.
I like the idea
We did-
of reacts though. Like that seems like a good
yeah, we did
some
like
people.
3 reacts, I think, and then we haven't put up another one yet. we had a bunch of other ideas and
Well, y'all
some stuff
also
that we
don't
could
like
start
live
doing.
next to each other, so that makes sense why it would kind of fall apart.
Yeah, so like basically like it came to be crunch time for the EP, and there was just so much other shit to work on. And then also like my position at my non-music affiliated job got to be very demanding. I got promoted to kitchen manager at my job, so I'm like working a lot over there. So basically it's just like it comes down to the free time that we have to put into all this shit. Like we have one more React video that we shot in March, I think, maybe February, and it's finally done, and I have to put it up still.
Yeah.
But
Very timely,
like,
very timely.
basically, like with the whole like shooting separate videos and shit, like it just takes a lot more editing. With like
It's
that.
no excuse, Steve.
Yeah, come on.
We have to
you
get
know,
out the damn reactions.
Yeah, but
Start
that,
assigning
like,
them Mikey.
Nick did a really good job with the Voices in Vain reaction video that we did. It's like edited really nicely. It's just like really clean and real good. But to get that level of good, it takes some time for editing and shit. So basically, like it's gonna be hard to stay super consistent with that type of stuff until and unless we're able to afford to pay an actual editor. You know, it's just like it's a lot of stuff to do. But I think we're gonna keep trucking along and try to do what we can when we can. I think we want to try to do some more reaction videos while we're all together, so it doesn't take nearly as much editing. Because when we did that first video, we just took it and like posted it the next day, I think. Although that first video, the 2-piece react is like a little like, you know, it could use better lighting and the mic situation could be better. But just like as long as we have those things taken care of, like doing it all together is definitely an easier way to do it. So we just gotta stay on it. It's hard to do everything that a band's supposed to do, you know?
Right. What about TikTok? You guys getting in on that?
A
Starting
little
to.
bit. A little bit. We
Okay.
mostly have just been posting music video clips, which you definitely need to do more than that if you want to survive on TikTok. But that's just kind of what we've started out with. And we posted the clip of Hardcore Keem reacting to Atlanta, which is fun. But we
Hardcore
posted
Keem's awesome. That's cool that y'all got him to react.
Yeah, he's super cool. I saw he reacted to some Sound the Ends creation as well.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. He's kind. But yeah, we posted the teaser for Vero Beach and got like 50K views on that one.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Like, and ended up getting just like thousands of likes and almost have 1K followers just off that one
What the
video.
fuck? What'd you do?
Right?
How'd you do that? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like we had
You tell
43
us.
followers. We had
Yeah.
43 followers. And now we have 960 something.
God damn.
But like
Algorithm
nothing else we've posted has done nearly as well. You know, like everything does like, you know, a little bit, except for the last video we posted. It hasn't really done much at all. But like nothing has done like I think even 100, whereas that one video has done like several thousand.
That is
likes.
crazy, dude. Christ.
Yeah.
Did y'all use some like
It's-
weird hashtags or something, or some kind of witchcraft?
We've just
or?
been using the same hashtags, just like, you know, mathcore, metalcore, breakdown.
That's
just
crazy,
like
dude.
mosh,
what the fuck? Oh my
etc.
god.
I would love
Um,
for the choreography section clip to get some traction. I would love to
Yeah.
see some reactions to it of people
I
doing the
posted
fucking
that.
dance. Like
I posted
that would
it,
be
but,
hype. That would be hype.
Maybe I need to post just like a shorter clip of it and not do like the beginning part of it, because I already posted that and it didn't really. It's probably like our least viewed video.
You know, I'm on
But,
your side, Chris. I think we need tons of video content. You're leading a great example. What is this, like 105?
Yeah, this is 105th.
That's awesome, man. Over
That is
100 fucking videos.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Podcast.
work.
Yeah, man. So like,
This is,
I know you're used to that hustle.
Oh, it's
internet-
hard. It gets hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris is the internet's busiest mathcore nerd.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's the mathcore Fantano.
So you guys got a tour set up. You're going to be going out for about a month, and then you're talking about going out for another leg. So what's after that for you guys? Y'all working on another album or something, or what's up?
Yeah, so, we don't want to say too much. Not that like anyone is like actually paying attention to us or cares, but like we don't want to.
Means a lot.
We have a lot of music written for our next endeavor, and I think it's officially like at some point shortly after our second, because that February tour is just part 2 of, it's going to be EP release tour part 2, EP release tour part 2. So we're just going to be like out there still like just supporting the EP real hard, or promoting the EP. After that, we have dates set to get together to play music and work on writing and just kind of reworking a lot of this new material that is unreleased that we've been working on for a long time. Well, I mean, we haven't been working on it for the time that we've been doing the EP, but we've got some stuff that's been on the back burner for a little bit that we're ready to work on, and it will be heard by people at some point, hopefully not too long after the second tour.
Looks like we lost Mike, but we'll continue soldiering on. So we were talking about touring. What's the best show you guys have played?
Okay. I wish Mikey was here for this, because he would be fun for this
Yeah, I
conversation.
don't know what happened, but okay.
Maybe he'll figure his shit out and he'll come back in.
There was a show that Mikey wasn't at that was really fun. It was the A&M's last show where we like tore the disco ball down and I fucking started bleeding from all the glass squares.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and I accidentally threw a mic stand at our bassist.
Accidentally, yeah.
Not Hunter.
That was a very fun one for sure. Our friend Eli from Dying Whale played drums for us at that show.
Yeah.
That was 2017, if I remember correctly, July, actually.
Michael
July.
was off marching drum corps.
Yeah. That's how shit used to be sometimes. Like, there were a couple times where Michael had to do some drum corps stuff, and we would have like fill-in drummers like Eli from Dying Whale or Ian from Cat Company. But yeah, like that was definitely a very fun show. I think my personal what I deem the best show. We've had a lot of great shows. Well, we've had some great shows, but I think the best one was probably the last one that we played in October, which was the first one after the pandemic for us. But the show that we played at Mosey's, it was just a really phenomenal time. Like, we have like a lot of friends in our hometown that like, are supporting us and shit, but sometimes it feels like it's hard to get people out to a show in the hometown sometimes. And like, we've played a lot of shows in Panama City where it's just kind of like not a lot of people are there, and it's just, the vibe's not great. But like that show that we played last month, I guess about a month ago now, it just was like, so many of our friends were there. So many people that we've never seen before were there. Like, so many new faces, and just like everyone having a great time together. Everyone going crazy, like the new faces and the old faces. Just everyone fucking going nuts. And like this one guy I've never seen before knew some of the words of our songs, so that was pretty cool. Like, I know for some bands it's just like, another show for them. But like for us, it's like when I see people actually singing along to our songs, I'm like, at first I'm like, he's not actually saying the words, and then I watch him for a second. I'm like, he's saying the fucking words. What the fuck?
I assume that was Hunter's first show, right? Like as
No,
Blindside?
Hunty's,
Oh, okay.
no, Hunty's been with us for a while.
Hunter went on that
yeah.
last tour with us back in 2019,
Oh shit! Okay.
and
Yeah.
other shows too.
Hunty's first show with us may have been because you were with us before that. Even Hunty's been with us for a while. Like since
I filled
late-
in for
2018.
I filled in on bass in spring 2018 for a week long tour, and then
I don't remember
thing
when that-
led to another, and I took the role of the bassist.
It's once Logan left the band.
Yeah. I was gonna say that Snip Fest 2018 was Hunty's first show, but that's
Maybe.
not true.
That's
No.
around that time, yeah.
Yeah,
So what's the
You
worst show
definitely
you guys have
played with
played?
worst show.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Just straight up. Okay, what happened?
No, we
Last tour.
don't say it like that because we've played good shows
Okay.
in Nashville.
I know. We were really tooted at
We
that point.
we
I don't know.
tried really hard to get a show in Nashville, and we couldn't. And it seems like that's like one of the places or areas that we have the most trouble with out of like the areas that we've already played. Like that's the area that we just still have trouble with because the guy that we used to book with doesn't even book anymore. But even when he was still booking, like he just kind of was like hard to get up with. And so like we hit up this bar that someone else recommended. And we were like, yo, let us play at your venue. And basically they were the type of place that was just like, yeah, you can come play here, but everything else is up to you. You got to book local acts and you got to promote it completely. So we booked just some fucking like SoundCloud hip hop artist type dudes. Cause that's like all we could find. I don't even remember how we got hooked up with them. And then they both bailed the day of the gig.
Nice.
Just kind of like, I think one or both of them just didn't even show up and never said anything to us and didn't get back to us till like after the gig. So, our whole thing is like, we
So wait,
we
y'all
weren't
did
gonna
that show
bail.
all by yourselves then? Y'all were the only
Yeah.
band?
Yeah, we were like, we're not gonna bail,
Shit.
we didn't want to just not play, because we wanted to play our songs. So we, it's like you could either like play your songs and, maybe no one will give a shit and it'll just be a bad time, or maybe at least one person will think it's really cool and you'll be like their new favorite band or something. But we set up and we played, and there were just two guys playing pool, and like the in the room next to where the stage is. So they're not even in the room with the stage. And we just kind of set up, and we were like, we'll just chill for like 15 minutes and then just play our set. Fuck it. Like, there was this guy that came and paid just to see one of those hip hop acts that didn't even show up. So then he the door guy gave his money back because the guy left because he wanted to see the hip hop guy. And it was like this older guy, like in his late 40s, it seemed like it was just, I don't know, it was weird. But anyway, so we just played our set, and there's video of this on our YouTube. We're just like kind of chilling in this room, just playing the set by ourselves. And like one of the guys playing pool like peeks his head in for a second, and like we're like in the middle of a song, and Nick's like, "Come on in, brother, don't be afraid." And I don't think he came on in. And
Did he come on in?
there was also a part where like this like older couple, not older, but just like older than us, like late 30s or 40s or something, like they just came in to be like, what the fuck is all this loud music, and they looked at it for a second, and they were like kind of just, I don't know, like
Not vibing with
not
it.
necessarily not laughing at us, but just kind of like chuckling, being like, what the fuck is this? And they just like left shortly after. And we just, I don't know, we just chilled up there and played our set just to, I don't know, just to make a point, even if the point didn't get across, fuck it. Then I don't know. Like we were just like, we're here and we're playing our set, you know, no matter what. It didn't do, I feel like there was probably nothing positive that came from us going through with it and playing that gig. However, I think that's a good principle, just like that you're still there and you will play your gig even if no one's there. Like, because someone could have seen it and really enjoyed it, even if no one did.
Yeah.
The possibility was still there. So
Positivity.
that was our worst gig, probably. I would say we've had other bad ones. That was
that would
worst
really
gig.
suck though, being on the road and stuff like that.
I just didn't like it because
nobody
like
coming out.
they're being shitty to Steve's partner about them not being of age to come in or whatever, and that was just kind of annoying because there was no one there, and like they were just gonna watch the music, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe one other person in the bar. It's like, I know it's like the law and shit, I guess, but I don't know. That just adds to the shittiness for me. It's like there's gonna be no one here to watch us, and then the one person that we bring to the show, they can't come in.
One quick runner up for worst show. We played
real quick. Are y'all going back to Nashville this time around on the tour?
No, but
no. We
Yeah,
tried for Nashville. We tried to do Nashville. We couldn't get it booked because the only people we knew just said they couldn't do it, I guess. We ended up getting
other good Nashville shows.
We ended up getting Murfreesboro, which that's like one of the 4 shows that hasn't officially been announced yet. But it will be announced soon.
Okay.
But yeah, that's sometime in November. I can't keep the dates straight. But yeah,
you're going out for like a month, so hey, Mike's back.
Hi.
Hey, Mikey.
Hey.
Our second worst show is when we played just this dumb house show in Dothan. It was like the kickoff of a tour that we did with this old noisy power violence band called Rebel Scum. And we played this house in Dothan where it was just kind of like a weird crowd. Like, seemed like a good bit of the people were people that didn't even really go to shows. It was just kind of like a weird like house party vibe, but not many people there. And then a few people came from a show that was actually happening at an actual venue, I guess, that I was not aware of. And they just like kind of came by and caught our set. And then one of them put a hole in the wall because he was just like goofing around, not even like seriously moshing that hard. He was just kind of having fun, being goofy, like, haha, we're in a house, and was goofing around. And then put a fucking hole in the wall. And
dude, we're in a house, watch me punch this hole in this wall.
Yeah, and because of that, like about the time that we were all getting settled in to go to sleep, like we were all like just kind of getting our sleeping areas ready, and we were just like starting to get comfy. It was like, all right, guys, we got to go somewhere else. Like, they don't want us here anymore. So we just had to fucking like go to like someone's like mom's house or something. I don't know. It was just like some weird like fucking 2 a.m. shit. And we just slept in like a really uncomfortable, like empty room. And it sucked. But yeah, that's our second worst show.
Okay.
Mikey.
Worst show.
Yeah.
Yes. Now that you're back with us, do you have any significant comments on best or worst show? Because I was interested to hear your comments on that.
Well, I'm sure you talked about the Nashville show.
Yeah.
That was hilarious, man. We got a really good video of that, of us just going fucking nuts, and then it turns and there's not even anyone in there. It's hilarious. And then our best show,
Practice.
I said the last show that we played in October.
Yeah, that one was really good. The last Farrellux show was really fun, but the vibe was kind of like everybody was saving their energy for Farrellux.
But we had a few moshers. That was cool.
Definitely.
And
yeah,
it
the
was
last
like
show we played was really good.
it was an honor just to be on the last Farrellux show, honestly.
Oh yeah,
That's dope.
For sure.
I remember reading on y'all's Facebook page that y'all started the band because of a Farrellux show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Michael and Nick, like I saw Farrellux before Michael and Nick started going to shows. Because I was a senior in high school and they were freshmen. I almost want to say that I may have seen Farrellux before I was even a senior, and they weren't even in high school yet, but I can't remember. But anyway, like I saw them a couple times, and then I booked them for like the third time in Panama City because they play Panama City like so many times. But Nick and Michael went and saw them, and like me and Nick and Michael weren't even really hanging out at that point, and I was like surprised that they even came out to a show. I was
Hunty
like,
went
wow,
to that show too.
Hunty did.
Yeah, I
I
believe
might
so.
have been, but I have a vivid memory of showing Nick and Michael the Farrellux music video and being like,
Buying
"The
ether.
band is sick and they're playing here."
It's
So we
like,
should
whoa, that's kind of like the Fall of Troy. That's the closest
But,
thing I had to compare it to.
We love the
Yeah,
full story.
so they saw that shit and they were like, let's start a band. So they started Blind Tiger.
Okay,
Yeah.
alrighty.
That's true. We were very impressionable youths.
So what's the weirdest show you guys have played?
Weirdest.
I have one for that. I don't know if you'll agree. What was the place? Was it Beer Punk? Whenever that old man started tapping on people's shoulder to like,
Yeah.
he was like, you need to move. And they're like, I'm just standing here watching the band. You know, he was like towards the back of the venue.
He was sitting at the
And
bar.
he was like, I need a perfect tunnel that I can see.
Through the
Yeah,
crowd.
it was
Okay.
like somewhere in like South Florida is this place called Beer Punks, I think. And yeah, we were just a guy pulled up a chair like behind more than one row, more than two rows probably of people standing watching a band.
Yeah.
And he was just trying to be like, move out of the way so I could see. Even though that's not really how shows work. But also he was like kind of being like creepy and weird to a lot of women that were in the facilities. So like before he even started doing the whole like get out of my way stuff, like he was doing the creepy shit. So I was just kind of already onto his game and I was just like not really having it. And I was like, nah, man, like I think he like tapped on my shoulder and I was like, nah, man, this is where people stand to watch the band. Like, stop, you know.
Great show though. Michael vomited, I believe.
Yeah, that was Michael vomited between like in the middle of a song, I think. It was at a good part where we kind of like were waiting on him to like count us off into the next thing, and we were
Where's he
kind
at?
of making noise with our guitars. He just like had to run out front and vomit real quick, and then he came back in and did the fill.
I hadn't drinking any alcohol really. I was not in the best shape and it was hot and I was trying to do mathcore crazy drummer runs around and I didn't fully condition myself to do that. And you know, it's just like running, it's like sprinting and it's like, oh, I can't sprint anymore, but you keep sprinting because you're playing a set and it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna throw up now. And so I ran out, I threw up. There was a person smoking a cigarette and I threw up and the person was like, you're doing a great job. And I was like, thank you. And they pat me on the back and I ran in and I kicked it off. It felt a lot better. Which brings me
so good.
Yeah, and that's happened a couple times. I vomited a couple times. So this tour, the past 2 months, I've been conditioning physically quite a bit so that I can do all the stuff that I want to do, especially after COVID and all that stuff. So I've been doing some workout videos, been lifting some weights, been eating some broccoli, you know, like
broccoli's very important.
been eating, you know, been doing my stuff. And this tour is going to go a lot smoother. But yeah, back in the day, I didn't condition myself and then I'd like bust out of the gate and just try to do all this crap and I wouldn't be able to, my body couldn't keep up with it.
It was locked, but then he busted right through it anyway.
Hey man, fingers crossed about this tour. I don't know the future. I hope not. I don't
as
like
as far as weird shows go, just like two other like, you know, kind of like weird, I guess. Like we played at Club La Vila, which is like world's largest nightclub. And that was like the big nightclub in PCB. It's like the big like spring break like PCB nightclub. We played in their rock arena for the Battle of the Bands, just because a friend of ours was doing sound for that particular venue, and he was like, "Yo, we're looking for one more band for the Battle of the Bands," and we were like, "Sure, we'll do it." And it was just us against like 2 or 3 like radio rock cover bands essentially. And I don't know, we just kind of I don't even know if our set was like as long as it was supposed to be, because like we hadn't written any of this new stuff yet. We pretty much just had like the first EP, the full length, and then like I think 3 new songs, which aren't ones that we're playing now. And I think we played all of those, but it still wasn't like that long because a lot of our early stuff is pretty short. But and then also our bassist at the time like broke a string like a couple songs in, and our friend who ran sound had to go all the way to his car, take a string off of his bass, and give it to our bassist to put on his bass.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even
So
know about that.
yeah,
I didn't even think you
that
could do that. Like take the string off the bass and put it on another one. Like, wouldn't it be too short at that point?
Yeah, right.
Here,
But
take
they
my
did it
snare drum
somehow.
head. At that point, it's like
Like just give him the bass, right?
bass,
Like,
yeah.
what?
Right.
Oh, your
But-
kick drum
but-
head,
Oh my
bro. Let me
God.
give you my kick drum head.
But Gavin plays a 5 or 6 string though. Like Gavin has more strings on his bass, so
That's
Logan
true.
wouldn't have been able to
That
do
changes.
that. But
That changes everything.
also, fun fact: Hunty over here took photos of us at the La Vila show
Yeah, I think
before
that
joining the band.
must have been like right before I joined in.
Yeah. I think that was one of the last things we did with Logan. But that was a weird one. And then also,
Did y'all win?
No, not at all.
Hell no. Hell no.
I think it was so. First of all, barely anyone even fucking came to that. Like you'd think it would be like a packed room because it's like La Vila Battle of the Bands, but no one really came.
Well, it's
I
a
think
battle of the bands, so like I don't really
Battle of the
expect too
Bands
many.
at La Vila, I think, was a lot bigger in the early 2000s. Nowadays, I mean, La Vila's closing. They're not even doing that shit anymore. But
I bet for all their lives could have easily
Yeah,
played
they
that
would
and done
be
very
great.
well.
But so another weird one, and I don't know if it was really that weird because I don't want to put it in a negative light really, but this interesting venue we played at in New Orleans called the Mudlark Theater. Hunty wasn't with us yet. Nick and Michael, do you remember that?
Oh yeah, with the puppets.
Yeah. There was
What?
this place called Mudlark
Dolls
Theater.
and shit everywhere.
We played there with Three Brain Robot and Plutonium Burrito, which are 2 like experimental artists that
Dude, those
were good
band
friends
names
with.
are fucking sick. Oh my god.
Yeah. They're really cool. Check them out. But I can't remember the names of the other bands that played, unfortunately. That was so long ago. But anyway, so like it was a pretty cool like theater, sort of like I think like wood floor type, just kind of like really old looking building. And they had like a bunch of like kind of creepy looking puppets all around, especially like I think in the restroom is where a lot of them were. Just a shit ton of like kind of creepy looking puppets, just because puppets kind of have that creepy look, not that they were actually necessarily creepy looking puppets, but
All puppets are creepy. Yeah.
yeah. So it was just kind of like not necessarily weird, definitely not in a negative sort of sense, but it was a different kind of place to play. But that's cool because we like playing in all kinds of different atmospheres and communities and stuff. We like.
Are they like
doing it.
staring at you while you're like pissing and stuff, or?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, their eyes like move.
I
No.
totally got stared at while I was pissing.
Just
No,
judging
I was
you.
taking a dump.
Hey, buddy.
I took a dump and I turned around and I was looking face to face with some sort of thing. And I was like, the This is uncomfortable. So I ended up moving the doll's head to not look at me, but somebody put a doll next to the toilet to look at you. That was a really good show, though. I had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's like people
Lot of
just kind of
fun.
like bob their heads, but like still, you could tell people were enjoying it. It was a fun time.
It was a good crowd. It was a good night. There was like
That was like 4
chili.
years ago.
Wow.
Crazy.
Damn. So you guys got CDs available, cassettes, and shirts all at blindtigermerch.square.site. Why don't y'all have that up on Bandcamp? I didn't even realize y'all had merch until I knew I saw a picture of CDs somewhere, so I went looking and eventually found it. But yeah, put that stuff up on Bandcamp so people can.
Hunter, I'm
see it.
forcing you to explain why we don't have it on Bandcamp. I don't know.
That's a good question, honestly. I
It
think
might be easier.
yeah. I don't know
Just
if
streamline that shit.
I guess because initially I had found the Square site, like the Square card readers that everybody
Right.
uses. They have the ability to set up a merch site. Like you can set up a free site on there, and I don't think there's any fees for selling stuff on there. So that's what I use for like my personal art stuff and the Blind Tiger merch, because there just wasn't any fees. But yeah, I would say probably for convenience sake, it might be a good idea to have at least the CD and cassette on
We
the
all should
Bandcamp.
at least put like a link or something on your Bandcamp, so
Yeah.
you can, get merch.
Yeah, true that.
Definitely.
So real quickly to wrap this up, why don't y'all tell us your album of the year?
I should have thought about that more when you said it earlier.
First time hearing of it.
Because you joined late, yeah.
That's true. I did. I was
Call them out.
Oh man,
Ooh.
I know. There's stuff that came out this year that I like.
I mean, I feel like the obvious one for us, if I had to pick a collective one, would probably be Glow On Turnstile.
Yay.
Yes.
Turnstile.
Okay.
It's just so good.
I just thought about that right before you said it.
Yeah. And we all saw them like a month ago at Furnace
At
Fest,
Furnace
and it was so sick.
Oh, y'all
So,
made it out to Furnace Fest? That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really good. It's hard for me to think of anything else that I've really listened to that much this
I got
year.
you. That's
Didn't
an
Every Time I
answer
Die
that we
put
get a
new stuff
lot.
out?
Yeah, Every Time I
Didn't
Die
every-
just dropped
Yeah.
like what, last week or something?
I've been watching
I have-
videos nonstop on
I
like my
haven't
Facebook
listened
feed.
to. I've heard maybe like 3 songs from it, but I really like what I've heard, and I like the one with Andy Hull featured on it, and I could tell that was him when I first heard it. I was like, "Is that the fucking Manchester Orchestra guy?" And that's him actually. But yeah, the new Every Time I Die stuff's cool. I still got to listen to the whole album, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. Another one that is worth a mention is Kaunashi's
Hell yeah.
Big time.
newest album. I honestly have only listened to it once and can't really remember what a lot of it sounds like, but I remember listening to it that one time.
It's
and
tight.
being like,
No,
this
it's
is
tight.
great.
It's really good, yeah.
I have a hard time registering what came out this year because everything since March of 2020 is just like a big blur.
I got you, man. I
Uh,
got you.
A lot of
Um,
really good music has come out though.
the new Possession is really good, which I believe
Yes.
you did the mastering for, didn't you? Possession 1981.
Yeah, that band's fucking sick.
Nice.
Yeah, that shit rocks. The new La Jesus is great. The new 2-piece album came out last year, so that doesn't count, but it's great.
I almost said Guilt's last record, but I realized that was last year.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did do a
that
split
feels like it was
recently, so
2
that can
years ago.
count.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said they did do a split recently, so that can count.
Yeah.
True.
What about
Also
you, Nick?
higher.
What are you into?
There we go.
Pine
it's
Grove.
not.
Power Sync.
I do like the new Pine Grove single and most of their music.
I didn't know they put out a new single.
That's so enthusiastic.
Yeah. Hey,
Don't you
know.
like the?
it's not
you like the-
mathcore, okay?
Don't you like the new Power Sync?
I do like Power Sync. Is that a 2020?
I
2021.
believe so. It looks like it.
Yeah, we're playing with
Yeah.
Power Sync in Birmingham and Tampa.
St. Pete,
St. Pete.
not
Yeah,
Tampa.
I'm
technically.
pretty fond of them. I like Puppet
Power
Master.
Sync.
That's cool. But if I had to pick any album, it would probably be "We're Only in It for the Money" by Frank Zappa.
That's not this year.
I know. I said any album. I don't.
That's
like I
many
You're
years
said,
doing
ago.
album of the year.
I mean,
That's
If I was
his album
alive-
of this year.
if I was
That's his
alive
favorite
at
one to
that
listen
time,
to this year.
then that would be my album of that year.
It's his favorite album to
Okay.
listen to this year.
It's great. Maybe every year.
Lil B Red Flame mixtape.
That dropped this year?
He just put out a Red Flame mixtape. Yeah.
Oh,
It's like,
Montero by Lil Nas X. That shit's fucking fire.
that is a good album.
That shit's
Montero by
awesome.
Lil Nas X. Yeah.
I listened to that walking around my yard.
Got to pay some respects.
Okay.
In spite of For Your Health.
Oh, in spite
For
of
Your
but
Health
for
is
your
fucking
health.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have that on
Yeah,
repeat
great
for
one.
sure.
Yes. Absolutely. The
Totally.
new Catabasis. I don't know how to pronounce that, but Catabasis from Birmingham. It's just 2 songs, but that's a real good release from this year.
Yeah, check them out. But yeah, that's about all I had to talk about. Let's show out something else I wanted to bring up.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
So if you're looking for a new, beautiful take on mathcore, you gotta check out the self-titled EP from Blind Tiger, which drops this Friday. You guys are on Facebook, Bandcamp, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and all streaming platforms. Am I missing any kind of socials? I guess you said you had a TikTok, so you're up on TikTok as well.
TikTok. we had a Pure Volume before they just nuked Pure Volume.
R.I.P. Pure Volume.
Yeah.
As for me, join my channel, follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming services, as well as some exclusive emotes. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you like the video, please drop a like, click on the notification bell. Do not forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatenscreation.bandcamp.com. My new album, Boomers, Zoomers, Desperate Coomers, drops on Friday along with their EP. I'm also taking off 2 weeks for because I'm going out on tour. Next episode will be on the 17th. It'll be with Possession 1981.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, guys. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Had a
Yeah.
great time.
Thanks for having us, man.
Hell yeah. And thank you guys for watching and listening.